Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and we will be discussing the science of hope. How many of you have heard that hope is actually a science? It is grounded in research, data, and testing. We have been granted permission to share this information from Dr. Chan Hillman, who co-authored a book called Hope Rising. And he is a quantitative psychologist and the director of the Hope Research Center at the University of Oklahoma. Before we take a look at the science of hope, I want to spend a few minutes on our different character traits. There are 24 character traits on this slide, and they are all measurable. There are some online surveys that allow us to answer some questions and then get a report on their ranking order of these traits. If you take a look at these, you might be able to guess our top 5 strengths. And research shows that when we are using our top 5 strengths on a daily basis, we are operating to our strengths and being more productive and useful to those around us. But today we are here to learn more about the character of hope. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, hope is a science that is grounded in research, data, and testing. There are over 2,000 published studies into the power of hope. In the next few minutes, I will share with you some of the information that has been founded in various research studies. First, I'd like to hear from you. Let's take a few seconds to stop and think about what is hope. Is it an emotion or is it cognitive? When you hear the word hope, what comes to your mind? What does hope mean to you? Is hope an emotion or a cognition? The research shows us that hope is a mindset. It's a cognition. Hope is the belief that your future will be better than today, and you have the power to make it so. If we just use the first part, a belief in tomorrow, we will be talking about optimism. Optimism is a feeling, but hope is not a passive response. It is a way of thinking. It is important to recognize that you play a role in hope and that we can learn to take action in our future. How many of you ever stated, "I hope the sun comes out today"? That's optimism. There are 3 basic elements in the framework of hope: goal setting, pathways, and willpower. Let's take a closer look at these 3 elements of hope science. The first thing we want to address are goals. Goal setting is the cornerstone of hope. We wake up every day trying to achieve our goals. It is the essence of being human. We can have goals that are set to avoid something or goals that are geared more towards achievement. The nature of our goals dictates the pathways and willpower. Remember that as we move forward. One thing to emphasize about our goals, there is no right or wrong goal. And we suggest that you don't try to change the nature of other people's goals. Now let's talk about pathways. Pathways refer to the ability to identify routes towards goals and to find new routes around obstacles if necessary. It is usually a good idea to try and identify more than one pathway to a goal. Here is a pathway example of my own. If my goal is to lose weight, there's more than one pathway to that goal. I could limit my calorie intake, I could take up running, or I could begin another form of exercise. Those are pathways to my goal. I could then choose one of the pathways and then identify all the obstacles that may arise. Then I can write down all of the steps I need to take along that pathway. The next thing we want to talk about is willpower. Willpower is the ability to sustain motivation to move along these pathways. This is our capacity to focus our attention on pathways to be able to navigate and direct our mental energy. All 3 are necessary for hope to rise. What happens if you're missing one element? For example, what if you have a goal, but the pathways are blocked? What if you have the willpower, but the goal is just not attainable? Willpower without pathways is just a wish. Now let's take a look at some of the interesting data found in hope research regarding the 3 elements of hope. Remember when I said the nature of your goals determine the pathways and willpower? Research has shown that the higher hope individuals usually set achievement goals. They are more likely to take risk and stretch themselves. We all set avoiding goals, but the research shows that individuals with high trauma, constant stress, and low hope frequently set avoiding goals. To explain the difference between achievement and avoiding goals, think about 2 basketball players. One has the mindset that she wants to get the ball and score the winning basket. Another player has the mindset that she does not want the ball because she is worried that she will lose control and make a turnover for the team. Now think about the differences of the two behaviors during the game. One is doing everything possible to get open and receive the basketball, and the other is doing everything to avoid it being passed to her. I want all of you to know that there is absolutely nothing wrong with avoiding goals. We want to meet people where they are. So don't try to change someone else's goal. Think about when COVID hit. What was our goal? The goal was not to catch the virus. Now that's a really good goal. What we want you to know is staying in an avoidant mindset too long will not sustain hope. We want to eventually transition from avoidant to achievement. The next elements we want to discuss are pathways and stress. Moving on to pathways thinking. The research shows us that when people are experiencing chronic stress, multiple adversities, or have been through trauma in their lives, it's much more difficult to identify more than one pathway to a goal. And then when they hit a barrier, they often don't know what to do and may give up. Higher hope individuals are much better at identifying more than one pathway to their goals and able to maneuver around obstacles. The next one is willpower and stress. Remember, this is the amount of mental energy you put forth towards a goal. It is not about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. That's not really very helpful. Trauma and toxic stress have a significant impact on attention, self-regulation, and energy. Nutrition and rest have a significant impact on willpower. We only have so much energy every day, and tasks that are stressful and demanding deplete our mental energy.